Guys, welcome. Um, welcome aboard. If you are brand new, welcome back. If you're not, welcome home. If that works for you, whatever you need today, absolutely. Let's put it into action. Let's talk about what's up for this week, which is the 28th of April through the 4th of May, 2025. Okay, we are coming out of this week with a third of our Mars Pluto oppositions and then a new moon in Taurus. And so we start Monday with a Taurus moon conjuncting Uranus and sextiling Saturn. So on Monday, that new moon echo, right, along with that Mars Pluto opposition imprint, is really still reverberating in your fields. Let that be, right? Just let it happen. Energy shifts and then we get to catch up. So just give yourself permission to pause on Monday. And the energies of Monday support shift and change. But the ask, right, is deliberation. The request is for you to move with care. And the demand is that you step with all of the powerful intentions of that Mars Pluto completion opposition, squaring that full moon in Taurus, right? That Taurus wants both of your feet very firmly planted. And so on Monday, begin, right? But realize that the first step has an echo as well. And the consequences of that echo, you'll be living with that reverberation for quite a while. So be certain with your steps, right? Just be certain. Just know. So if you got to be still to do that, well, then be still to do that. On Tuesday, that Taurus moon sextiles Venus in Pisces, and the moon moves into Gemini. And this is all early, wee hours, right? The Gemini moon will sextile Neptune, trine Pluto, and sextile Mars. So Tuesday is about ideas, right? Ideas. Your sense of inspiration might really run rampant on Tuesday. And guess what? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Follow the breadcrumbs that your brain is showing you. They absolutely lead somewhere. And the rabbit hole might end up being deeper than you expected. So trust yourself, trust the process, trust your pacing. Here's the deal, just trust the journey enough to keep going, right? And as always, my recommendation with deep dives like that is take notes, right? Do not trust your memory with your inspirations, because what feels clear to you, right, like a dream, can morph and change and shift. And those are things, especially when we're talking about these divinely led intuitive moments, you want that clarity. So take notes. On Wednesday, Gemini moon, right? So we have sextile to Mercury. We have a conjunction to Jupiter. That's a lot of energy. And then Venus moves into Gemini right about lunchtime. And then the moon will sextile Chiron and square Saturn. Now, here's the deal, that absolutely marvelous brain of yours is truly firing on all cylinders. That can be chaotic or it can be comforting, just depending on the way that you are able to process all of that information, right? Whatever that Mercury energy, hello, means to you, and how it sits with you is the way that will feel. So keep all the doors and windows open, right? This is definitely got potential to turn into something big, right? And as Venus is going to join that Gemini party, things get kind of real. So when you're talking about love, when you're talking about money, yeah, it's all there. So as the day progresses, though, resist the urge to let the energy get too heavy. Okay, so watch out for any old programming, especially around other people's beliefs, other people's expectations. Oh, look at that. That was close. Yeah, just don't let yourself slide into that that overly critical, self-doubting space, right? Nobody's got time for that. Nobody's got time for that. On Thursday, May 1st, right? Exciting. May the 1st. Uh, wee hours, moon moves into Cancer, and that Cancer moon will square Venus and Saturn, will quincunx Pluto and sextile the Sun. So as the moon moves into Cancer, you might feel a little overwhelmed, a little kind of, the word I want to use is like thwarted by all of those ideas and all of those inspirations that have been so prevalent early this week. So take whatever time it is that you need to sift and sort through those ideas and inspirations. If you need to close doors, and those could be real doors, those could be proverbial doors, that is entirely up to you, whatever it is, but absolutely allow yourself the process to be processing, right? Keep home, and when we're talking about any Venus action, we are talking about what home looks like, smells like, tastes like, sounds like, feels like for you. So keeping home and your highest and best at the forefront. Your own authenticity of heart will absolutely guide you. So your key is to trust that, right? Absolutely. Always, honestly, not just on Thursday. On Friday, that Cancer moon is going to square Mercury and Chiron, and Venus in Aries will conjunct Neptune. So on Friday, this is a day where the real and the ethereal hold space in the hot seat of the Aries landscape. So a lack of capacity to manage within any kind of illusional state might end up having you reeling or searching, and it might even feel a little bit frantic as you search for balance, right? Balance, looking for balance. Here is what not to do. Revert to any kind of old patterns. That comfort, and I'm air quoting, comfort of the familiar will have you absolutely backpedaling into what will absolutely always prove to be some treacherous waters. So instead, here's what to do. Lean into your new narrative, the one that holds space for healed, the one that holds space for whole, right? So, yeah, got you. So stay in it. Mm, always exciting, always exciting. Yeah. On Saturday, the 3rd of May, sorry, I got stuff going on here. That Cancer moon will sextile Uranus and trine Saturn before the moon moves into Leo early in the morning, right? And then that Leo moon is going to trine Venus and Saturn, oppose Pluto, and conjunct Mars, right? So here's the deal. That moon is going to activate that third space of that Mars-Pluto opposition, right? So this really personalizes that journey. Questions like, how did you learn to navigate the depths, right? And how are you moving now, having experienced those depths, right? How is that awareness resonating in your heart? And here's the deal, what you choose as a result of all of that, and what you choose to do next, um, will absolutely be created from those answers, from that space. So make sure that you are being very thorough and authentic in your exploration and in your answers. And on Sunday, May the 4th, right? May the 4th day, that Leo moon is going to square the sun. Pluto stations retrograde at 3 degrees of Aquarius at 10:27 in the morning Central Time, and stays that way until the 14th of October. Right? That Leo moon is going to trine Mercury and sextile Jupiter. Now, here's the deal. Just like that, the universe says, "Hold on, let's rewind the tape. Let's roll some footage, and it is time now for us to start our review, our rewind space, right? Um, how have hmm, how have the last 6 to 8 months felt to you, right? What inceptions and what shifts are apparent to you, right? Both in your life and in the collective, in your reality and in your energy. How have you been in reaction and response? How have you been in creation and destruction? um, Evaluation of the ways this new energy is feeling to you is absolutely critical in order to cement your own very solid and very comfortable foundation for the next decade and a half. You really have to scrutinize your recent past as Pluto starts this evaluation process, right? So Pluto is paving the way, allowing you to dive as deeply as you will dare to dive. Now, here's the deal, that is honestly the only way to do this work, is to get as deep as you can. So pay attention, right? Pay attention. Pay attention, y'all. Okay. Let's talk, shall we? We got the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords on Monday. Monday is the day where that Taurus moon is going to activate Uranus and kind of um, magnetize off of Saturn. We talked about this as a day to pause and be very deliberate. We're talking about ideas here. We're talking about the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords. You might have some ideas, right? You might have some concepts of how and why you want to move forward. The King says, hold on, we're going to make sure that we know what's happening here. We want to take all of this information, all of these intentions behind our chosen trajectory and make certain that the movements that we are going to choose are in alignment, right? It's great to have this ideaed movement, right? And to understand the why behind a thing. But unless you have this king energy that allows you to be deliberate, that allows you to say with certainty, this is the way we're going, and we're going to plan it. We're not just going to take off, right? And trust that the why will lead us a certain way. We can curate our motion and ensure in that way a better outcome, an outcome closer to the intention that we created. So, again, just make sure that you are allowing the echo to inform the progress, right? It's one thing to, take off, trust the process. That's beautiful. It's another thing if you're looking at a long-term, focused journey, and the energies right now, we're really planning the next, I mean, decade and a half of our lives. So making sure that where you're going is the place you want to go, right, is going to get you there. Certainly, step by step by step by step, you can adjust. But if you have your eye on the prize, Violet, you got a better idea. Um, on Tuesday, we have the Star and the Lovers. Absolutely lovely energy, right? We talked about this as ideas, ideas, ideas. And guess what? It is universal support here. Follow the breadcrumbs that your brain is showing you. Even if the rabbit hole goes deep, right? Trust that no matter what, the universe has your back on both fronts, right? In the ethereal and in the real. No matter what it is, the universe is looking out for you, is creating situations where the perfect people are showing up in your life, creating instances where you are not only seen, but seen and heard and felt and witnessed and celebrated, right? All of those things, the universe is going to absolutely reward your deepest intentions. And so go as deep as you can. This is the theme of the week. Just dive in, right? Trust what's happening and have your eye on where you're headed, right? What is the quote from Gilgamesh? Fix your eyes on me, right? Yeah, something like that. I'll have to look it up. On Wednesday, we have the Four of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. This is beautiful, right? We're talking about how um, all of those ideas need to be sifted and sorted, right? All of this sense of new that's coming in absolutely needs and deserves the proper brain, right? We're doing that. This is a beautiful theme this week that we're going to really take all of the ideas and ground them, right? Keep our feet on the ground, um, making sure that we're not getting into that old programming, making sure that we're not um, reverting to any old belief system or acting out of any, let's call it old pain patterns, right? um, that we are taking all of the energy that we have put into our healing and applying it to everything that we're building, everything that's coming from us, all of the creation, even all of the destruction, right? As long as you understand that it's part of your process, you're in business. On Thursday, the Ace of Pentacles again and the Tower. Now, this is that day where we said, take some time and do that processing work, right? All of these things that are coming in for you, allow your brain, right? Again, more of this swords energy to come in and allow your mind to be blown in any way that it's required. Um, take the time and allow this Ace of Pentacles, right? This is Earth energy, this sense of home to be your guiding light. And anything that isn't authentic to that, anything that is not focused on the way that that experience can be manifest for you, absolutely just let that lightning hit it. Let it blow itself away, right? We don't need it. We don't need it. We do not need it. What we need is to keep planting. And in order to plant, you have to clear the fields. And how do you do that? How do you do that? Right there. Right there. Blow it up if you have to. It's okay. Nobody's going to miss it, least of all you, right? So just remind yourself that you get to pull in as tightly as you want so that you can do this processing work, so that you can assure yourself that what you're carrying is what belongs to you, and what you've put down no longer it has an attachment, right? That's the work. On Friday, we have another double major day, the Chariot and the Emperor. So this is about progress, balance, forward motion, really making sure that you are leading with love and logic, right? Head and heart. And the Emperor, again, here asks you to really hold the space of No illusions, right? No illusions. We have Venus conjunct Neptune. No illusions, right? What you're creating cannot be a maybe. What you're creating has to be done from that center space of groundedness. And then everything is yours, right? That comfort of the familiar will have you uh, moving back into those old patterns instead of that forward progress, which is what you're here to do. Um, Lean into your healed narrative, right? Know that you're the one driving your bus. Know that you're the one who's the creator of the balance or the destructor of the balance, right? You keep yourself on your trajectory, or you allow yourself to move off. And guess what? It's always perfect and it's always wonderful. It's okay to move off course as long as you know how to bring yourself back. That's why we do the work, so we have the tools to do that, right? Saturday, May the 3rd, we've got the Wheel and the Nine of Cups. We talked about this as the day where the moon kind of activates that Pluto Mars opposition space because it moves past that 3 degrees of Aquarius, right? So, what did you learn? What did you learn as this moved around here? Um, how is that awareness resonating with you? What are you choosing? And what are you going to do next? How did you learn that choosing? So if you've not been with me, let's talk about what the wheel means to me. So the wheel is about how we move through life, right? And here's the thing, you can be out here on the edge of the wheel and really witness life as a spinning, a going around, around, around. You can see yourself as a spoke of the wheel and still be up and down and up and down. Or you can witness yourself as the hub of this wheel and know that everything that's moving around you is moving for you. And it only affects you in so much as you choose to dive into it, because this is a divine process, right? This is a divine process. So you have the Nine of Cups here, which is the calm center of the center of the wheel, right? This is emotional stability. So this is a beautiful, beautiful pairing for this energy, really talking about making sure that you are creating from that center space. And absolutely everything you create from that center space will not have you doing this dance, but instead will have you firmly rooted, right, at the center, knowing that all the progress is for you. On Sunday, the 4th, May the 4th be with you. We've got the Five of Swords. This is conflict. This is disagreement. This is, again, swords. So this is things that are out of alignment with your beliefs. And then we have the Ace of Wands. So this is our third ace of the week, right? So what is it that the universe is handing you? And how are you arguing with that? So here's the deal. This comes on this day where Pluto moves into retrograde. And what we know about that is that we are being asked to review, right? We've hit pause here, ding, and we're going to hit review and rewind. And over the next, this is April, so through like next February, let's call it next February, March, through this whole retrograde cycle, you're going to be asked to look at the places where you have had conflict, where you've been out of alignment, where things are not in in play for you, or where you feel that they're not, where you believe that they're not. Swords energy, right? And so what's coming? All of this inspiration comes back in, and your reality, your energy is absolutely the way that you choose to be in creation or destruction, the way that you choose to be in reaction or response. You get to choose, right? Wands are fire energy. What are you doing with the things you believe? How are they serving you or not serving you, right? So as you move through the next 10 or 11 months of our lives together, make sure that you're paying attention. Make sure that you are prioritizing the things that you want to prioritize, and make sure you're getting rid of what you don't want in your experience. Because guess what? You're the only person that will. And this does not mean, by the way, here's an interesting pairing. This does not mean um, in the external world. This means within yourself. This means within yourself. So this whole concept of set it all on fire, this is an internal demand. And with the beginning of retrograde season at the end of this week anchoring us out, this is an important thing to remember. The work that you're doing is internal work. You're not looking to fix the external. The only thing that you can fix is you. So good luck with that. That's why we do the work, y'all. Let's talk about this middle world card. What I like here, is that they're so linked. Okay, the middle world is the realm of the day-to-day reality, the playground of the living. Excuse me. It is the present moment where everything is happening. Yet, the middle world is created by the future, not only the past, and it is a mirror of the invisible realms. Well, guess what? We just talked about all of that. When things are right in the middle world, heaven and earth support everything. When they are not right, heaven and earth must be brought into order as well. So this echoes all of this week. The work that we're doing is internal work. The repair is self-repair, right? You can't run out and tool around in the world and fix something out there without fixing it in you. It will either recur or it will simply fail because you haven't addressed the source, which is you. The middle world shows up when conditions are favorable to your undertaking. Do not hesitate. Move forward, as heaven and earth are smiling upon you. Yes, in fact, they are. The time is right, so be expedient, but mindful of not being reckless. Okay. The world is your playground, and what would require great effort at any other time can be accomplished with ease right now. This is what I say when I mean if we're working within the energies of our galaxy and our universe, we can accomplish things much more easily, right? Than if we're just trying to use our own energy to manifest, manifest, manifest. It doesn't work like that, right? You can ride the wave and it appears as though you're manifesting effortlessly. Guess what? Because you are. It's just all about knowing where the wave is, right? The medicine here. Do not try to correct in the earth what needs to be corrected in the heavens. The resources to support the change or endeavor you are considering are not readily available, so it's important to ask for help from the invisible realm, from helpers in the upper world. For now, wait, right? We talk about this as getting things together, really taking notes, choosing what it is that you're heading toward, creating the big picture goals. This is important. And then as this week ends and we start into retrograde season once again, into this definitive galactic review season, right, where you get to shift and change and edit the way you show up to these energies. This is time, right? This is the time. You have to be here doing this work because everything else depends on it. Everything else depends on it. You hear what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying? Anyway, you get what I'm saying. I know you do. So here's the deal. Be super blessed. I will see you soon. And until next time, take care.